Oh man. We are back again.
Yeah. Back at it again.
So Joel, tell me why it seems like every time we come back with another episode, a tough shit happens. It's
Just the
rarely
nature
ever
of
good. It's
just the
rarely
nature
ever
of the
good.
business, man. I think it's funny. We're like, all right, let's go on a break, and then boom, 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 something happens big related to all the fields we like. It's unavoidable.
It's become just a trend where you can just always expect something bad to happen eventually.
If you look for it, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you could put the visors down and just kind of try to avoid all of the
yeah,
muck and
very,
grime.
very fucking hard, but
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder than it used to be, but we'll get into that a little bit. I guess welcome back to
yeah.
United We Nerd Podcast, where we talk about anything and everything in the nerd sphere. Of course, I am your host Brian, along with our host Joel.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday! A little bit early today, I know, but
Mm-hmm.
luck have it that we were both available and free. So you're
Mm-hmm.
welcome.
Oh yeah.
I guess a little bit of housekeeping before we kind of get underway. Um, we've been talking recently, and we talked about the last podcast. Twitch has been having their issues and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. So we were thinking about maybe on the next podcast or so, or at least the live version for everybody watching live right now, which you can right now on twitch.tv/United We Nerd. You might be able to see it live on YouTube next time. We're not leaving Twitch. Just to be clear, we're not
Mm-hmm.
leaving Twitch. We just want to try out what YouTube has to offer as far as streaming services. See how it is over there. Get familiar with it. Maybe at some point down the line, we could probably try streaming on both. Maybe with getting a restreamer of some sort. But yeah, if you want to come watch live next on the next episode, come make sure you're subscribed to our Twitch, our YouTube channel, and also check out if you can't watch live. Of course, we always have our VODs there if you want to watch post, and of course, we have the podcast services and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Besides that, Joel, we do have a She-Hulk review coming up.
Hell yeah.
She-Hulk is finally done, so we're going to be able to do an in-depth review on She-Hulk. I think Andor's only halfway through, right?
Correct. 6 of 12, I believe.
Okay, so maybe we haven't talked about it a little bit, but maybe doing a half season, kind of like
Did do that
review.
with Bad Batch. We did do that.
Yeah, it's just because there's so many more episodes than there usually are for these live action shows.
Mhm.
So I think waiting for all 12 episodes to come out might be a little bit too long. So
See.
yeah, some more review episodes coming your way. So, and of course, we all have the social medias, the Twitters, Instagrams, and of course the merch store at the Nerd Emporium as well. You could look forward to. But yeah, for now, let's get into our weeks. Joel, how's your week going so far?
It's going okay. It's very early in the beginning. We have a busy weekend ahead, both of us. So
Yeah, we
been
do.
like mentally planning for that. We have our buddy Jameson's birthday is a celebration, and then our last HVZ game that we are putting on as us as the moderators. I know I've been talking about here and there, but it's just come really fast. We prepped last week, and we're gonna put it on and hand over the keys. That's it. We're done.
Yeah,
We're out.
it's
It's been a good ride.
it's kind of weird to think about because I know back in 2020 we were planning on ending it up. We had this whole year long plan, And of course,
storyline and everything.
Yeah, and of course, COVID, fucked up.
Mm.
And we've been back since April, June. Really? I felt like it's been longer than that.
Oh, I know it's felt longer than that.
Jesus
Trust me.
Christ. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And one of our fellow moderators suggested, which we'll probably do, a roundtable about our experiences with that and everything we
that'd
did.
be great.
That we'll probably get as many as we can in here. I know for sure the one who suggested we'll definitely have them on, but a lot of our friends who've been on here have actually, close knit friends, and we're moderators as well in that. So I'm pretty sure they have wisdom and experiences to share with that. So we'll get to that when the time comes.
We'll definitely have to try to just do the I don't know how big Discord can get, but we might have to pull in the other service. Fuck, why am I forgetting? Holy shit.
A long week already. I don't know.
It's been a long week.
It's only 2 days. But yeah, I'm just prepping for that. Excuse me. Over the weekend, my wife and I watched Werewolf by Night. If you're into that spooky stuff, Halloween season for sure. It throws back to like classic horror with MCU flair. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a fun ride. Intro all the way to the end. I will say there's no like post credits, which we expect. It's just a nice, as far as we know, somewhat self-contained story. To go in, watch, enjoy the ride. So that's all I gotta say.
That's good because we don't need everything to have a post-credit scene. I think special stuff like this, especially just like a little like Halloween kind of like holiday kind of thing, we don't need to have any post-credit stuff. But I haven't seen it yet, and I know you're not going to spoil anything for all of us if people haven't seen it yet. But there are some characters that I can think of that would be hanging around with Werewolf. And maybe it's a character that's still looking for a new director.
I don't want to spoil anything or say anything that'll lead anyone askew. All I'll say is,
all right,
in the future may hold something. That's all I'll say. I don't want to, give anyone hope or lie to anyone. But yeah, fun ride all the way from the beginning. Fanfare, first 10 seconds to the end. Just keep your eyes on it. But yeah, a lot of fun. Of course, Gail Garcia Bernal, who I always messed up his name, did a great job, and some of the other it was just well done, and music and everything. I really enjoyed it. And yeah. Also, my wife and I finished Sandman season 1. We listened, I listened to the audiobook, and so I was really excited about the show, and I think they translated to TV really well. So if you're thinking about watching it, and you know about Neil Gaiman, he's a great writer, has a hand in many amazing projects. Just go check it out if you're curious. It does kind of demand your attention a little. It's that kind of show, but for a good reason. Everything is just so detailed down to everything. And the villain, I think, of Sandman, who they made a villain. He's not really a villain per se of the whole book, but in the show, they made him a really interesting character, and the actor who plays him is really good. So he just commands attention when he's on screen. So if you're thinking about watching Sandman, highly recommend it.
How many episodes is it?
I believe 11. It was 10 originally, and then they released like a bonus episode for everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
And it's like roughly like an hour long each episode.
Yeah, anywhere from 37 to 52 minutes or an hour. So it ranges. Yeah, really fun. You and I actually, we went into Outriders. We talked about it last time. I finally played the competitor loot shooter to the one we play, Destiny. I played Outriders, and I don't even know if it is a competitor. It's so different. It's like third person. I mean, yeah, there's the loot shooting stuff, but it's like third person. You have powers. You're like going around running and shit. I don't know. It feels so different. It feels honestly like it, like more like Anthem than Destiny, to be honest.
I can kind of agree to that.
Yeah. No flying, only running. So far so good. I mean, I have an open mind when it comes to that kind of stuff. There's only some things I'm really hard about, but I'm just going with an open mind. And has story. Anthem had like none, so that's good. There's reasonable story.
I mean, shit,
So
they even have an expansion, so that's even double up on Anthem.
yeah, I mean that's like there's nothing that's comparing it literally against nothing. But yeah, so it was on Game Pass. Finally checked it out, and I'm just curious. We're probably gonna go deeper to that game, but yeah, just been playing that. Lots of Mario Party. Oh, Gundam Witch from Mercury episodes are live on Crunchyroll.
Oh
That's been
shit.
out for a bit. I need to get on that, but there's some pushback from fans, about the lead,
Oh, I
no
heard about that
pilot.
stupid shit.
War is bad. Yo, war's always been bad. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like,
It's the whole premise of the show.
yeah, literally, Gundam War is bad, y'all. Like, yeah, the giant robots killing and shit. It's the fun stuff we look forward to. But if you like, every Gundam has that theme. Like, you can't escape it. Sometimes it's in your face. Sometimes it's incredibly subtle. Gundam Wing, the one I got into. I was not listening to that political intrigue at the time, but that's literally the whole fucking show. It's like, do we do this or not? Do we go to war and all that? Like, like.
They had so much political intrigue that the main character got zapped of all emotion.
It's just dumbfounding to me. Like, like
It really just goes to show, because you can tell that the people that are really complaining are the people that probably just got into Gundam recently,
yeah.
or like got into it because of other things than the anime. And Gundam series come out like years and years apart, so they don't, you know, for people that aren't like us that like fucking dive into a whole bunch of Gundam all the time, I can imagine some people being like, well, what the fuck's this? Or even people that have watched Gundam for a long time but they're like diehard set into like the Universal Century like era. And so anything outside of that, it just looks weird and like stupid to them. But it's just like, it's Gundam, man. Just, you have a bunch of mechs that like shoot each other, and it's 2022, things are going to evolve over time. Everything can't be the 1970s anymore, you know?
Even the fucking original show had messages of anti-war showing it's not great. Like, we should not be fighting. Like, children should never be fighting, right? Like, it's, oh my god. Like, anyway, I just had to get that out there because I'm wearing my Gundam shirt right now. But still, like,
Yeah, it's
I
wild.
don't know. Yeah, this is supposed to, like, they're gonna take away Gundam, make it woke too, brother. I'm gonna tell you right now, you missed it. You're missing the point here. So yeah, literally right before this, we jumped into Destiny. The new Festival of the Lost stuff is out, and related to it's the mecha themed armor we just fucking paid for or bought,
Yes.
and Gundam themed. The sniper rifle literally has a V fin on it, like the Gundam V, like the V you see right here. If you can't see it, if you look up Gundam, type in V fin. The sniper rifle has it and has a really cool like beam rifle sound. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
the main mission is bugged right now, but it's like, yo, I just want that sniper and the skins, and I did it. So
Oh
more
yeah.
more Gundam action for everybody in Destiny 2.
Yeah, no one was gonna care. Like, I think that's why, like, I was surprised when I heard it from you when I jumped on, and I didn't hear it like from outside sources. I think it's because everybody was waiting for the skins to come out. Everybody just wants to be a
Yeah.
Gundam. Of course they do.
Hell yeah. Little transformer mix subtly mixed in there, but yeah. Really cool skins that we just, nerded over there. What else? Oh, me and my buddy Fernando, we did the new Sea of Thieves Tall Tale that just came out.
Oh
It's
shit,
time
how is
gated.
it?
It's pretty straightforward. It's fun. It brings back another character we've heard about before. We kind of do what pirates do with him. Um, it's a little long. People were complaining like it's too short. I don't know about for us. It was like we had the wind against us. We were doing it blind, so there are a couple things where you're like, all right, use your supercomputer brain. I don't want to do this later, but yeah, I don't know. It took us like a couple hours or an hour and a half,
Oh
but
wow.
maybe just luck wasn't on our side. I don't know. We were
Did
like we weren't trying to rush through it either. We were getting all the collectibles and all that too. So got
okay.
new Tall Tales out. If you haven't jumped on it, with Stitcher Jib. You can go
Mm.
take him on, see what that's all about.
Did
What else?
before you jump away, did this adventure feel like it's finally culminating into like some big story beat, or did it feel like there's going to be more like small adventures after this one?
I don't. I didn't get that impression after doing it. I think it's still going to be a little story beat, not like anything grand on the way. Or if anything,
Okay.
it's like setting up like a little bit. Not they keep hinting at us what's to come, but not.
Mhm.
Haven't. I think when they release like a really long trailer, we'll really know, or like a big seasonal thing. Because what
Okay.
season has like 5 more weeks? Probably at the beginning of next season, they'll drop something big. But
Man,
yeah, it was fun, but not like major story arc and stuff. At least I maybe I missed something over my
okay.
head, but
Well, hopefully I can get on to this week.
and I know there's mixed feelings about Harry Potter nowadays, but the actor who did play Hagrid passed away. So R.I.P.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he did a good job. People do remember that he kind of spoke up for J.K. Rowling, but he did bring that role to life. So R.I.P. Hagrid. That little meme going around saying, even though if he's not here, Hagrid will always be there. So he's an important character in Harry Potter and someone that looked up to him and was there for him even when he had no one else. So
Robbie Coltrane.
R.I.P. Robbie Coltrane. Yeah,
Man, that
and
sucks. Hagrid was my like legit like Hagrid was like my favorite character in the movies. That was a bummer when I saw that. I know he had a lot of health problems. It's still a bummer.
yeah, yeah. And just want before we jump into some what you're talking about, I thought it was this week. I just wanted to put out there. Tales of the Jedi is next week, and that's 6 episodes. So
Oh,
super
okay.
excited about that. I got overhyped. I thought it was tomorrow. It's actually next week. So
I know. We're both waiting to see young Dooku.
yeah, yeah. Oh
I
man, I know we talked about it for a second earlier. Andor, woo! Oh, episode 6 was fuck, man. I can't even. Oh, to review it. Ooh, that's it.
yeah.
What about you, Brian?
I'm gonna have
Before
to
we
watch it. What did I do? Well, well, to start off over the weekend, I went on a little, out of town vacation. Went to Santa Cruz for a weekend. Spent a anniversary with my partner. It was fun. But never really stayed in Santa Cruz that long before, so it was kind of interesting to be able to explore it a little bit. Got to see some of the downtown life. Um, I know you're probably very familiar with with that area.
lived downtown for school for 2 years.
It was interesting. I didn't expect it to be that lively. We got there on Friday night, and damn, I haven't like seen like a downtown area that busy in a long time. Let's see, there was like this area where there was like live music playing, almost like too loud. There's
Sounds right.
other people on the street, playing music and stuff. Um, there was some kind of show that was happening that I didn't know what it was, to be honest. So you know, it was interesting. We checked out the local food areas, tried some good ass food. Found a cool game store, a cool like mom and pop game store. I think it was Level Up in Santa Cruz. It was kind of think like a very small like GameStop, but it's like a mom and pop place. It was really neat, and they had like this little like corner area where it was like a video game museum that just had a bunch of like very old consoles and merchandise from like a long time ago. And it was kind of funny because I was looking through and it's like, oh shit, I remember that shit. Like stuff from like the 90s. It was really neat. Uh cool people. I found some nice stuff. They also sold used games. They didn't have any on my list, which was sad, you know, but it was cool. We Went to a pumpkin patch that was kind of out in Castroville. Um, experienced my first like actual like corn maze for the first time. Dude, that shit took us about like 20 minutes to get through, but holy crap, like it was like the big stalks of like corn. You couldn't see over or through it. It was so thick. And then
Yeah, when you posted the video, I was like, "Damn, that's tall." Because it's showing how tall you. I know how tall you are. I was like, "Dang!" Like,
yeah, I think it was said that I don't know if it was true, but I think they said it was like between 2 to 5 acres deep of a maze. I think I think it was a little bit maybe over exaggerated, but it was still pretty cool. Had a lot of fun. I noticed a lot of people were taking corn. I don't know if that's like a thing that you do,
it's a corn maze, I
but
guess.
like because like the farm is where like the pumpkins are, right? And then the corn maze is in the back of the parking lot where we went, and there was nobody watching. There was just a sign that showed you where the entrance and exit was. And I just see a bunch of people like walk out with like fucking corn in their hands and just take to their car. I'm like, is this okay? I don't, I
So,
don't know.
in Santa Cruz, I guess.
I guess. But yeah, that was fun. Had a fun time. Other than that, we played more Cult of Lamb, having fun with that. We counting down the days for my PS5 to get here. I'm like biting it. I'm like biting on the nails, like just to get to play Miles Morales, dude. Can't
Doesn't
wait
come in. I feel like that was a while
because
ago.
it released it because it comes out with like the release of Modern Warfare 2. So
Uh,
it doesn't launch until I think the 25th. So I got like another week to go. I'm just like impatient. I mean, I'm impatient at this point. That's pretty much what it is, you know. But I'm excited about that. What else? What did I do? Oh, I finally took the leap and I actually started posting content on TikTok.
you did. You did.
Yeah, that was interesting and weird. Um, it actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, especially because of the. I found out about this editing website, Capwin, that actually does pretty good work. It helps you kind of just edit down your videos, and then you can kind of set it up to display how it will look like if you post it on like TikTok or a YouTube short or Instagram. And it's pretty nice. And there's like a free version. Which you could still do a lot of stuff on the free version, which is nice. We have an auto caption generator. I think for the free version though, they give you like 10 free auto generations a month, which, depending on how much you do, is here or there. But yeah, I guess I'm on TikTok now. So if anybody wants to go see my my
Woo!
weird ass clips, just look up Brian Saber on TikTok. Yeah, it's really interesting. Never would I thought that I would be doing that kind of shit, but I said I would think about it for a while, and I just finally jumped the gun. So
Tool we use, might as well use it.
yeah, hey, that's where all the hip people are nowadays.
Not so hip, let me tell you.
No,
There
yeah.
some bad takes.
Mm. Did you know that DC is doing phenomenal this year?
So earlier, Brian and I were playing, we were talking about like Black Adam and stuff. It's like it's coming out. Like, oh, we shouldn't really trust the reviews. It's already at 50% Rotten Tomatoes. It hasn't even come out yet. But also, like, when it's people are like really comparing like DC Cinematic Universe to MCU, and I'm like, that's not even like I don't know, man. It's like an ant versus a fucking like nuclear bomb. Like I don't even like like come on. Like yes, there are some movies that aren't as strong, but no way is the Batman gonna compare against Endgame. Like come on. Like I was celebrating. I highly praised the Batman. I thought it was the fucking
Good,
greatest
it's a
thing
good
when I
movie.
saw it at the time. It was really good. Not enough to fucking say like which one would you pick, No Way Home or the Batman? Like
Yeah,
come
no.
on, man. Like, I mean, I guess, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm very opinionated about it, but it's just like, whew, like, DC, you got some more work to go, and everything that's like you pointed out, what's been happening with the merger, like, oh, like that's not a good look, DC. Like,
You know what, Joel? You just created the perfect segue into talking about some news. Let's talk about DC for a sec.
Adam's out this Friday, but yeah,
Black Adam comes out this Friday. Probably see it at some point. Yeah, so in Flash News, they have commenced doing reshoots.
yeah. How about that? Fuck,
Yes.
that's
Uh,
this year, so oh my god.
yes. So yeah, they're still doing reshoots. Nothing has changed, as you know. However,
Miller said he was sorry, so I guess there's that.
yeah, Ezra Miller was sorry. So Discovery Warner was like, okay, we could do some more Flash stuff now. That's fine. Apparently he is, I think, being taken to court still. I'm sorry, they're being taken to court still. And I don't know what's going to happen because you always have to take in the celebrity rule into account. But apparently they're trying to get them in for like maybe 24 like a 24-year sentence, which I highly doubt that's going to happen because of the like the misconduct and the the physical violence arrest stuff. So it's just like, oh my god.
He's a rich celebrity. He'll just pay to get out. Prisons pay to win. Like, I mean,
It's like it kind of sucks that we have to kind of think this way. It's like whenever there's a celebrity involved in some kind of like legal dispute, that there is going to be that celebrity clause where there's whatever they're in trouble for will just get dampened down, by leaps and bounds. In a way, I'm not surprised that Discovery Warner is still trying to push out the Flash because I feel like they spent too much time and money in this movie to have them come around. And it's just a gross feeling.
I mean, they need something to save him after, almost nixing Cartoon Network. So to bring people back in somehow.
So here,
To say nixing,
here,
sorry.
so here's the funny thing. I saw those articles. So there was more news coming from Discovery Warner that what originally was being reported was that they were merging their animation studios, which for some people thought that meant that Cartoon Network's animation was going away. Apparently that's not the case. So apparently this is from a report from somebody that used to work at Cartoon Network Animation. I wish I remembered the name. For life of me I can't remember, but apparently this animation merger was in the process for a few years now, even before like the Discovery Warner thing happened, because they were building a new office building, right? And then they're going to put all the animation studios in there. It's like Warner Brothers Animation, Cartoon Network, etc., etc. So they did lay some people off, but it wasn't solely from Cartoon Network. It was from like all over Warner Brothers, and some of them came from Cartoon Network, which still sucks. Having people laid off sucks. Like we've said this multiple times on here, many other stories. Having people being laid off is not great. But Cartoon Network studio, like animation studio, is not going anywhere. They're just all being put into one place. So they all work in the same location. Yeah, that's it. It's like I too was kind of like in that little hype for over the weekend.
All my fingers, crossing all my fingers.
So don't get too overreacted about it. It's
Too late.
too.
Vlog's already up.
They literally have an entire network revolved around Cartoon Network. I don't know. This may be putting a little bit too much trust in them. I don't think Discovery Warner would be that stupid to get rid of an entire division that is reliant on a network. No.
Yeah. Well, I'll be happy to be wrong about that. I'll tell you that right now.
I think it was reported that they were kind of letting go of a lot of their more adult animation divisions because they want well, not to get rid of, but when the merger happened, they were saying that they were going to get a lot more of the like adult animation stuff off of HBO Max and kind of sell it out to like other places like Netflix and stuff. So I think we will be seeing a lot less of like the more adult centered animation stuff on HBO Max, which kind of sucks because you own HBO. Why move it? We've talked about this many times before.
The big brain plays we don't know about, apparently. That's
yeah, it's ridiculous. But yeah, so shit's still happening, just not to the severity that we thought. So relax. Relax a little bit.
Late.
Going on to some of the bigger news, however, talking about layoffs, this one isn't over exaggerated whatsoever. Everybody remembers G4, the cool gaming show channel where people for years watch a lot of gaming content. They came back last year to everybody's like surprise, and they actually were making a lot of cool content, right? Well,
on TikTok too. Good.
On TikTok, streaming YouTube. Emphasis on were, because it was reported over the weekend as well that G4 owner Comcast has decided to immediately cancel G4. So G4 is now officially dead again. And of course, in current modern day fashion, everybody that worked at G4 found out over Twitter. Surprise! This really sucks, dude. I don't know about you. I was a real big fan of G4 back in the day. When they would do the big coverage of E3, and they would have X-Play and Attack of the Show, and then all the other cool shows. And I was really excited when G4 came back, because it was like, okay, cool, we're gonna get newer versions of some of the old stuff, and we're getting a lot of new cool content. And it was a lot of cool content. They had a lot of like awesome people. Like shit, they had Golden Boy come back. They had Black Okage on there. They had Austin Creed on there, and many other people I could list off, but I'm not going to because my brain. But yeah, it just really sucks. And I don't know if you've been hearing about this, Joel, but a lot of people online have been blaming blaming one person, solely one person from G4, Frosk, for a long time ago did a like ending speech to an episode that they did, and a lot of people like looked at it as like, oh, it's just a lot of woke shit, stuff like that. It was a lot of the stereotypical like gamer bros were
Yeah, I
kind of
remember
like
that.
saying,
Yeah.
and of course, when this news came out, a lot of those same gamer bros decided to point fingers at Frost, being like, "Oh, it was because of this. That was the downfall of G4." It's like, no, shut the fuck up, dude. You don't know how networks work.
He literally
Uh,
said why they canceled him. It's a little bit worse. Why?
so it's like it's like I understand. I wish I didn't have to understand why that logic loop happens. But it's just like, you know, it's already hard enough to try to make content and try to shell out positive influences into the world,
Hmm.
because there's always going to be these fucking asshats that try to point blame at like the obvious like minority demographic in said thing.
Hmm.
And it's like, dude, come on. We hope that like in the year of the year of 2022 that we'd be kind of over this shit, but we're not. you know uh
Knew
but
giving a
like,
shit about other people would be woke.
yeah, it's stupid. And especially because like the obvious thing to point at whose fault it was hello Comcast. It's right there. The whole reason why that Comcast decided just to all of a sudden just get rid of G4, like they literally haven't been on a year. They came back in November, I think. What was it, November 21st
Something like
of
that.
last year? November 16th of last year. So they haven't even been on a year. And Comcast decided to nix them because they weren't doing good numbers on network.
Hmm.
Which, okay, I can see why they would come to that conclusion. Um, Very obvious that this is a total big mismanagement on the network's part. Because not only did we not see so much advertisement on like other more generalized like sources,
Hmm.
because everybody on Twitter knew that G4 was coming back because they followed a bunch of people that were going to be working for G4. So of course they're going to be excited about it. But you put it back on cable TV on a channel that people have to pay premium for. And to be honest, after I saw that it was on TV and I looked at it and it's like it's they're literally just putting VODs of their Twitch content and their YouTube content on TV. If Comcast was smart, they would have just said, okay, fuck the TV channel. Just focus on YouTube and Twitch. That's where the demographic's going to be, and that's where you're going to see your numbers. But of course, the dinosaurs at fucking Comcast look at it and it's like, oh, well, the TV channel's not doing great numbers. We have to nix the whole thing. Sometimes you can't have nice things, you know?
Mm-mm.
And it's like, I understand that the concept of G4, when it originally was airing, was rapidly becoming more out of date the more things like YouTube start kicking off and the internet was being more utilized for overall just like pop culture news, not even just like video games, but like just pop culture in general. Because I remember back in the day, like I still watched G4 for a while until it became just like all cops reruns. But like their
Fuck.
their website wasn't that fantastic. It was kind of outdated even back then for like the standards that were back then. And I understood why like they got canceled the first time. It just became an out of date system. And so when they came back, it was like kind of like, okay, cool. You have a lot of people there that learned from what happened before. And what sucks is that they're making a lot of really good to content. But
Mm-hmm.
because Comcast owns the rights to G4, they still had to kind of work within their guidelines. And their guidelines is like, okay, you can make your Twitch content and your YouTube content, but we still got a TV channel to run. Let's fucking, get those numbers up. And it's like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That's my G4 rant. Joel, what let's hear from you. What's your opinions on this?
Hey, you said it all, man. Said it better than I could have. Just it goes back to like not being surprised. It's like, oh, meet the numbers and the whatever financial whatever yield. It's always the same fucking thing, and it just sucks knowing that too. And it's unfortunate because the content, the first time it was around, it was great, and time went by, kind of went, whatever. And the relaunch was good. It was like cool. They're doing their thing, and it's fresh, it's good. They got some hot takes I agree with, which aren't that hot, and it's just like we go again. Just people up top not knowing what they have, not knowing how to use it, not keen on the times. Again, going back to not knowing how to use it. It's just it just shows they acquired them hoping that they kind of that momentum was would build up, but just they didn't focus it right. They didn't. What else to say? Hopefully those people can find a job quickly and do good content and some rebirth, and hopefully whatever version they come with, they could do it well and away. They could do it themselves. Obviously, what they were doing was good. It just, it is what it is.
Like, like this, like, bummed me out the most. Like, this whole situation is a fucking bummer already. Especially everybody, losing their jobs and shit like that. But anybody watching like G4 growing up back in the day, everybody knows like Adam Sessler, right? He's to most people, as far as like video game journalism, he's like considered like the godfather. It's just really disheartening that when G4 got canceled, of course, like he did his own stuff and he kind of went away, and then like having this come back, it was like, oh, he's back, it's so cool. We kind of get a cross between like the old generation and the new generation. It's great. And then when this shit happens, you see these tweets saying it's like, yeah, I'm probably going to step away from the video game journalism business for a while. I don't know when or if I'll be back. And it's like, fuck, dude, that sucks ass. Like, I don't blame him. I don't blame it at all. Like, to be, kind of fucked over twice by the same fucking company in the same fucking job. But that like really bummed me out. Just like, oh man, literally like breaking, like the network's just breaking spirits at this point. It fucking sucks.
Yeah. All we trusted gone.
Yeah. So I'm sure everybody that worked there will be able to find jobs. I just hope they find it soon. Or should even start
fucking company.
Or should even start up their own, stuff.
They could do it. They could do a great job.
I believe in everybody that worked at G4 will be able to, find a place for them to thrive and create. Okay.
Fun.
Yeah. So there a lot of news going around this weekend. A lot of it is not great. So I'm sorry everybody that was looking for like some happy news. I'm sure we'll try to find some happy news before this podcast is over, but I can't guarantee that shit. Joel, let's go over the Twitch.
Here we go again.
Hey, here, take it away, dude. You seem excited. Let's go. Let's go.
No, bro, we're using this platform. It fucking sucks, dude. I already said it was shitty last time. I'm surprised we were even allowed. Honestly, like Like, I've used it before. Fuck Twitch, though. I'm probably gonna use it again. Fuck them anyway. Like, they're just, it's just, uh, where to start? I don't know, Brian. What topic you want to start with? Fuck, we could go all day. I don't
Well,
know.
I know there's some stuff continuing from TwitchCon or the aftermath, not really TwitchCon, but like the aftermath of last month. So let's start from there first, because I know there's the bigger news, but let's start with the small stuff first.
Which part? Like,
Well, let's let's go over the aftermath of September real quick.
okay. All right. So, I'm not mistaken. Please correct me, Brian. September, of course, in Twitch is the time where you're supposed to support all the people who are streaming with like cheaper subs, really getting, those popular streamers or even not so popular, just getting them, their revenue, getting them, building them up and stuff. But because of the excess subs, Twitch's algorithm or whatever, whoever's behind it, they've been offering, hey, run these ads, get X amount, right? It's been like some streamers have been offered a huge amount of money. Like, great, good for them. But it's like you're literally running 6 to 10 minutes of ads, like 20K. It's like, holy shit, Like, and some streamers like, whoa, that's, that's 10 minutes is a long time, especially if you're doing live content. That's that's a lot, and it's in the coming from September, and it's like, you did great numbers, you want to keep that going, here's an incentive. Like, yeah, people, I know it's their job, they gotta jump on it, but still, like, people like actively take a step back, like, no, that's far too much, for that much time. If I'm not mistaken, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. And of course, like, because of that, anybody that either watches streamers or streams on Twitch knows that September is a very abnormal month, because you'll get the excess of like subscriptions, through many means, and of course you'll probably, like, for a few creators, you'll see a lot more bump up in views, right? Well, if you notice, recently Twitch has been doing the ad incentives for a lot of the bigger creators, a lot more for the partners, where it's like, oh, if you run X amount of ads and you have a lot of viewers, you'll get this, like, bonus, you get like a couple $1,000 bonus, Well, because of that, I'm trying to find the examples a lot of streamers have been posting, but pretty much the what's been happening is that these offers will go up based on your more recent, like, stats in Twitch. So Twitch has been auto generating these offers where it's like streamers will pretty much have to have half, if not most, of their stream running ads and having people watch those ads based off of the September numbers that aren't normal. And so it's like, Twitch, that is fucking impossible. Even if you were to run those ads, most people at this point would have subs anyway. And if you have a sub and you have the settings set, you're not people aren't watching ads. So it's just like, it was a big weird thing that I've seen a few streamers talking about this weekend. It was just like, what? Oh my god.
Want some ads with the side of content?
I mean, shoot, like, even to be like opening up the curtain a little bit, they recently added the ad manager for Twitch, and right now it says that in about 7 minutes there's going to be an ad. So I'm sorry, guys, there's going to be an ad coming up in a little bit. But yeah, it's between all the other Twitch news that we've been getting, this isn't the worst offender. It's just kind of like, oh my god, it's ridiculous. Like, ever since Amazon bought Twitch, we knew shit like this was gonna keep happening. and it's very obvious that they make more of their money in ads, and they want to push creators to do more ads. But the problem is that a lot of people don't like ads. If a streamer has a good community and they understand, then that's fine. But a lot of people that are kind of starting out, or haven't started out, but have a small community base, ads are going to be a killer for some people. And it's just kind of what the nature of the beast is going to be for now. I don't know how you could mitigate this. I know I said before the ad manager allows you to kind of rework your ads a little bit, but still at the end of the day, it's that drop off rate. People will come into a stream and get hit with a wall of ads. I say there's like a 75% chance they won't stay. So it's
Even for our streams, I'm like, let me check chat. It's like, no, I can't. I gotta wait 1 minute. Like, boom, right away.
They have the comment in the chat, ad.
Yeah. It'll be for things I already have too. It's like, god damn it. Or I already saw this. I'm watching. I already have Disney Plus. I don't need a fucking ad for it. Like, you already have my money, Disney. What more do you want?
Man. So that was just a little bit of silly news from Twitch.
Ridiculous.
I guess we can go into the more serious. This isn't about Twitch the company in general. It just so happens to involve somebody that's very popular on Twitch. I'm sure a lot of people have heard about the stuff that's going on with Amouranth over this weekend. A lot of serious shit. I guess to do a long story short, in a more recent stream, it became very apparent to everybody that Amouranth has a husband who seems very, 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 very toxic, and I wouldn't say borderline, just like abusive, at least verbally and like mentally abusive. And it became very apparent when Amber started to show a lot of the voice memos that he's been leaving him. And then at one point, an actual on the phone conversation live on stream. And, it's really hard to talk about this kind of stuff because it's very ugly.
It's someone, it should be a team working together, and it's not any fault of her own. It just sucks. You have this guy that is supposed to be in her corner, and he's a piece of shit, controlling everything she's doing, it seems, and threatening to kill her animals. Like, what kind of fucked up shit?
It's fucking wild shit,
right? Apparently he's getting help. Like, fuck you, bro. Like, you kind of like ruined her. And the worst part is the Twitch community. Some of them were like, no, she's lying. Like, what the fuck? She has like evidence, dude. Like, why would you lie about that kind of stuff? I mean, sure, once in a while there's someone who does lie about certain things like that, sure, but if they have lots of evidence, come on, use your fucking brain about this situation. Obviously she's going through some shit, and your first thought is she's lying. Like, I think you need to think about your thinking. Do some meta work there.
Sorry to cut you off, but it was those people, and the people like, what the fuck? She's married? I spent all this money on her, and she's not even single, dude.
Right.
You're not even single, dude. It's like, oh my god, I wish you could just collect these people and then like just put them in a place and be like, get some help, please, because it's like this situation, like you said, like he was threatening her through the phone, saying that he's been like pushing her to create content like nonstop, and like had control over like her accounts and shit. That it was very fucking wild, dude. And you know, an update to the story, which is great, is that Amouranth did another stream recently and just sharing updates saying that her pets are in a safe place. She has control over all of her accounts, financial and otherwise. She said that her husband is, seeking help, and said like it didn't realize how bad he was coming off until after like hearing himself on the stream, and it's like, okay, bud, sure. Okay.
Yeah, sure. After billions of people realizing you're a piece of shit, I'm sure that would change you too.
But I mean, the silver lining of the story is that she is okay, okay in the sense that she's in a safe place right now, which is great. Which I guess goes into the more broader discussion that's been all over the internet, is that it sucks that there's this stigma, like double standard to women streamers, um that usually always seems to have all of this stupid toxic shit going on, like not even just like the people in the chat, or just like whenever like stuff like this gets reported on, you always have to kind of like fish through a lot of the muck, because there's always going to be people that do this, like, oh, popular streamer Amouranth who does all of the like the wild shit. It's like, no, it's like, come on, dude. Like, she is one of the most popular streamers on the platform at this moment right now. Like, this is a human being that is very obvious that she was being like controlled by a very like toxic is like even like it feels like too light for this person.
Literally an abusive person. Like,
yeah. And it sucks to say, like, I'm not surprised that there are people that either think that she's lying or became upset that because she's not single and she's married, and it's like fuck off, dude. Fuck right off. Like, I know we try to make this podcast very like open-minded and shit, but like, no, when there's like stupid motherfuckers coming around, we have to point it out, because it's not right. It's not okay. If you ever catch yourself kind of thinking like in someone's like chat, like thinking that way, dude, like, no, you need to stop. You need to like break away, touch some grass, rethink your life, because this goes for even us too. Is like this window of a screen that we are communicating through at this moment right now is not full on reality. I've heard plenty of people say this like time and time again. All the creators saying like this: the people that you're seeing on the screen, like whether it's us, whether it's a big time streamer, whether it's just any other person that creates content like on any other platform, you're getting generously maybe like 80 at most 85% of us, and like the other 15% is the actual us that we don't put on display here on the internet for good reasons, because everybody needs boundaries. But the other thing that I really appreciated seeing is that there was a lot of people on social media and stuff that were coming to defend and trying, like, creating like groups of people to try to like make sure that she was okay, which is great. And I think we need a lot more of that in a bigger degree, because as much as I would love for this to be the last time, it's not going to be the last time that this happens to somebody. But I like, maybe rose colored glasses coming on, like, hopefully the more that this shit gets like pushed out into like the world and being like, hey, this is nuts, this is not how it should be, and we need to make sure that, you know, we nip this in the bud like super quick in the future if this happens again, or if this is about to happen again. But like, I've never really like I knew of Amaranth. I've never really like seen her content. I'm sure she's a really nice person, but like, I've never been like the person that like treats celebrities like on a pedestal, or like as like this other thing that is beyond humanity, you know. So it's just my brain. I could ramble on about this, but like, I guess the moral of my rant is just kind of, you know, everybody's human. Treat them like they're humans, and, you know, this is never okay. This whole situation is never okay.
Also, like, if you're spending money on her, like, this goes to the thing, like a little anecdote I might go on, but she doesn't owe you shit. It's a stream. You didn't hire her personally with the contract telling her she need to do XYZ. Like, yeah, like, you can admire her from afar in whatever way. Hopefully that's safe and secure and respectful. But if you,
Mhm.
even if you spent like thousands of dollars on her, it doesn't mean like, oh, she didn't give me extra attention. Like, no shit, she's married, duh. Like, come on, use logic. Like, yes, support her. Like, sure, cool. Like, if you want that kind of like feedback from someone, you probably have to go on a date and not spend money on someone like that. Even then, if you want that service, like, I don't know, there's a screen between you and this person. It's not what you think it is, probably, unless you have that time, energy, and like whatever, like beyond just a Twitch chat and money. You know, he's putting on a
Mhm.
service and trying to burst whoever's bubble, but he's there to make money, and boom, she got it from you, and
Yeah.
good. That's great, you supported her, but like, he's not at your beck and call, you know, like like that, like,
Yeah.
oof, big oof.
That
But yeah,
there has to be a healthy like creator viewer connection. You can't
healthy
you can't
boundaries for everyone.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to end up on like her weird celebrity island, you know, talking about, you know, Morbius here. But you know, like, be
Mhm.
safe and healthy with your, you know, whatever. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna move on from that. Be smart. I don't even know. Like, use common sense.
Be smart, be a decent human being.
That too. And yeah, just like you said, it's like a shitty situation altogether. But just because you spend money on something doesn't mean you're entitled to treat someone a certain way or how they think either. Like, I don't know.
No,
Fuck.
exactly. Exactly. Um On to other news. Um Anybody who's a fan of Platinum games, and specifically Bayonetta, probably would have noticed over the weekend that the voice actor for Bayonetta, Helena Taylor, or I guess I should say was the voice actor for Bayonetta, shared a three-piece uh, video set on Twitter this past weekend, talking about the situation of why she is not the voice of Bayonetta anymore. And this is coming from Helen Taylor herself. According to what she's saying, is that when they were casting for Bayonetta 3, that they gave her the offer of $4,000 to do the role for Bayonetta, a character that she's played, you know, at least for the past two games, on the very highly anticipated Bayonetta 3, the third in the series. And when she declined, Platinum Games decided to hire somebody else for that role, and that person being Jennifer Hale, like very, very well known, legendary voice actor. I would say at this point. I'm sure you probably agree, Joel, being a big Mass Effect fan.
She's she's done so many great things. She's Ash in Overwatch as well. Totally Spies. You know, she's in that. She's done like so many voices. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, this whole situation started, and then of course, Helen Taylor was asking fans to boycott the game, and this kind of goes into a bigger conversation that we will be having in a second. But of course, you know, the executive director for Bayonetta 3 at Platinum Games, Hideki Kamiya, for fans know that on Twitter, he is kind of a fuck around and find out kind of person, where he is very open to banning people right away on Twitter, to the point where even in Patreon, not Patreon, in Kickstarter goals was to be banned by himself. It became like a gimmick of his. Came out and saying like, this is not true. This is not what happened. And then started just kind of doing mass bans because people kept kind of, asking him things, to a point where I believe Twitter closed out his account for a day. And then the morning after, it came back with some of his most recent posts deleted. So just from there, it's kind of didn't really look good. And of course, the conversation came up where the known fact that voice actors are not treated well. They're usually always underpaid and undervalued, which is a fact. It's been a known fact in this industry, or just in any industry. Like, shit, we even talked about it last time with the whole Mario thing. Video game movies, don't use the voice actors because they rather have big name actors in Hollywood kind of play roles, which is not unnecessary. This really, seemed kind of like a shitty thing to be going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start diving deeper, and things get like even more confusing, because let on the side effect, like this is a very real thing that voice actors get underpaid a lot. And then you start to think about it, and it's like, this is weird. I don't understand. Because, you have the person that's been voicing Bayonetta this whole time. Is that, they only offered me $4,000 to do the role. And then they get Jennifer Hale? Someone who you would assume, knowing her history, her track, like her work, like her worksheet, would probably cost a decent amount of money to hire, and then the whole thing of like, well, it's also union, so it's kind of like it's all union voice actor work, so it's just kind of like, okay, well, how does this work out? Because it's kind of like, wouldn't this be breaking kind of like union shit? And so it's just like, okay, well, did like Platinum Games just like want to like kick Helena Taylor out, and like this was like the way they tried to do it, by lowballing her a lot. And that's not, that wouldn't be a surprise. That wouldn't honestly, that wouldn't be a surprise. And then we got some more news today, earlier today, that apparently some new information has come out that poorly report by Bloomberg, or from Bloomberg, which is said to be corroborated by a few other sources, including VGC, stating
DC is
that
owned by Bloomberg. Just want to say. Okay. Anyway, keep going.
I didn't know that. That's actually interesting. So anyway, that apparently there's documentation about the negotiations for Bayonetta 3, saying that the offer that was given to Helen Taylor was for $15,000 for like 5 sessions that last like 4 hours each, being paid about, 3,000 to 4,000 per session, which still is low fucking all money, for sure. For somebody that played the role is pretty much is Bayonetta, you know. And now, of course, the one thing that people have to kind of remember is that Bayonetta, like the series Bayonetta, isn't a AAA game. Like Platinum Games is not a AAA company. They're so small. They recently just lost a lot of money in the fiasco with Babylon's Fall, and you know it's still shitty. She should still be making more for sure. And of course, Jennifer Hale made a statement basically trying to say what she can because she's still under NDA. She can't really say anything. Basically just telling people like, hey, you should still support the people that are making this thing, like still a lot of voice actors get treated really shittily. It's not her words, this is just me like paraphrasing. And it's true. Anybody that knows Jennifer Hale's history, she is a big proponent to pushing for better unionization for voice acting, and she's always been on the forefront for getting voice actors to be treated better in the workplace. And so that's when all of this starts to get fucking muddled, so it's like, okay, so people can kind of choose who they want to believe. Like the overall statement is that voice actors need to be treated better, be paid better for the job that they do, because even to this day they still consider voice acting to be low tier. And there's literally been even more recent news that even like anime voice actors have been lowballed severely, like
for decades.
For decades. But even recently, season 3 of Mob Psycho 100 is coming out, and
oh, dude,
they replaced the voice actor for Mob because they lowballed him. And like, of course, he said no, because it's like, yeah, it's the main character on the 3rd season of a very popular anime. You don't be lowballing him. And then there's some voice actors that came out that voice roles on the recent Jujutsu Kaisen movie that's saying that they got like a couple hundred to do a movie that made a lot of money. That made a lot of money in theaters. So it's not unknown that shit like this has been going on.
I've been kind of like diving into this community a little bit, so I've been having like my finger on the pulse, and it's I kind of understand some of the logic, but it's not right. It's like, yeah, they already had it animated and voiced in Japan, so they don't need to pay as much to Americans who are doing it. But I don't think that. I mean, you're still acting. You're putting your time in the booth. You're bringing this character to life. Not to say you own this character either. I've heard that a lot from all different voice acting masters. Like, you don't technically own the character. You just have the voice of the character. But still, you're using your voice to convince people who are, going through whatever that this character is alive. And that does a lot. And that has a great effect. And you should not be lowballing these people. I've taken a few of the Steve Blum classes, and it's like, he kind of is like, anime pays shit, but you do it because you love it, which is, a nice mentality. But you don't want to do something you love and, for years have that same effect for people not, being able to live. You want to do something you love and survive too, And it's just crazy that, again, the Jujutsu Kaisen movie made hella money. I think it's one of the top anime movies, and people were so surprised it made so much money. And it's like, you can't pay your actors a little more with all that money, you're gonna get. It's ridiculous. And, and the fact that they undercut, like, now we'll just hire new talent, which is, it's like a scrub move or a scab move, I get it. They need to put out that product, and, people want to work, and with voice acting, there's so many people now trying to do it and make it, but you should talk with the original voice actor too. Like, why are you stepping down? Why are you leaving? That's been open those lines of communication. Like, is there a reason why? It's like, oh, I'm done. Or is it because of the studio? Are they underpaying me? Do they not treat me right? Et cetera, et cetera. And it seems like Jennifer Hale's done her homework. And of course, she's, really part of the big community and is talking to people. Again, under NDA, can't say anything. So, again, it's like any job, you should be paid well and compensated well. There shouldn't be like hired lower tiers, like putting in the work, get paid for it. Well, especially voice acting, it's just crazy. Again, like, these amazing characters, and then we're not gonna pay you that much. It's like, it's still acting. That's what I found. People think it's voices. Like, yeah, I can put out a voice, but is it convincing? Like, you are still acting. That is still a talent that people put years into with theater, TV, cinema, and making it convincing, and yeah, they have, what's going on?
Dogs are mad too.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, they're bringing in Chris Pratt, and his Mario sound a little funky, but that's to draw people in. Of course, they want the original Mario voice actor to do an amazing job, and he would. But it's a movie studio that needs to bring in that talent to make that money, and it just sucks,
It does.
It just really, it's a shitty situation. And for those, it kind of goes back to, like, with David Hayter and Phantom Pain, Metal Gear 5. I love playing the game. It's like, but why did they get Kiefer Sutherland when they already had a snake on hand? I guess it makes sense. He's a different snake, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like, he has iconically been Solid Snake, and it's like, bye.
It's the attempt to try to Hollywoodification video games.
And even at that, still pay your fucking voice actors, like, when they do something like that. That's what, like, I'm very low on that that rung of the ladder. I'm still trying to, like, get my head around. I barely have any training. I have a couple things on YouTube with this guy I work on. I audition here and there, but a lot of projects, they want you to start out 0, 0, 0, or not paid, not paid, not paid. It's like I get it. You want to do it because you like it, but also, like, don't you want to get paid for the talent you're bringing to? Like, it's a weird duality, because, like, of course you want to do it because you love it. Hey, we all live in a capitalist society. You got to get paid still to live. Like, you got to be fair, and
good old capitalism.
It's shitty. I hate, like, going on the capitalism sucks rant, but it's like, literally what it is. Like, they can pay those voice actors. They put on a fucking movie or show from a big.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of people on the internet that want to, like, find answers as to why this shit happens. Don't hound, like, Jennifer Hale for this, for particularly this situation. One, because she's under NDA, so she can't tell you anything.
She did. She's
What?
getting a big fucking fine.
Oh,
Really
oh,
big fine.
even more. That's gonna be court. But two, she's under NDA, so she can't even like tell her side of the story. Because for all we know, which is very likely and very possible, is that she was told that Helena Taylor didn't take the role, and they offered her, or they had her audition, and she got the role, and that's that, and that's all that they told her. Like Platinum, that's all that Platinum Games told her, which is probably very likely. At least I would hope to assume, because I would love to give Jennifer Hale the benefit of the doubt based on her history of trying to help fellow voice actors, with unionization and to get better treatment and whatnot. That if she knew that they were trying to lowball Helena Taylor, that she probably wouldn't have taken the role. That's just my assumption. I could be very wrong, but I kind of want to assume that this probably wasn't the case, because if shit like this was happening, I would try to hide it too. you know. But yeah, like don't go hounding Jennifer Hale. She's not the person to go talk to. If you want to understand more about the stuff that voice actors go through, like literally go ask other voice actors that are under NDA for projects. Go talk to them, and I'm sure that they will. Some of them will educate people, like to educate people on this kind of situation. Get their opinions. But it's just the same story. Don't go yelling at a wall that can't talk back. You know, like be smart about it, and also support your voice actors because they need it. Uh, yeah, I did say that this news week wasn't gonna be the brightest of the bunch.
Little nice little nugget to. We do talk
Yes,
about nerdy shit.
yes, please go for it.
Jonathan Majors, who's going to play King, has been, showing off his body for Creed 3. And he is, again, I'm just going to say, if I didn't say it before, I probably did. He's fucking jacked. Ant-Man is fucking
hell
dead.
Yeah.
Ant-Man, he's going to fucking flick Ant-Man. He's going to explode. So I saw a tweet rumor that literally when he was on set, he's running around blasting music, being annoying as fuck. That's what King should be. Like, that gives me hope. Hopefully he wasn't like a bad person on set. I imagine not. But it just, it's like cool. He's fucking ripped like a fucking supervillain. Dope. We hope that they don't do it. I mean, not just should just judge based on looks, right? But dude, like committed. I mean, with Creed 3 too, trailer out for that. It looks fun.
Oh yeah.
On the topic of voice actors, speaking of David Hayter, because I had to bring him up, apparently he was like calling someone out. It's like, you're trying to drive fascist tones. I'm like, oh god, Solid Snake is actually being Solid Snake. I mean, not that he owns Solid Snake, but you know what I mean? It's like,
I mean, we could say he's Solid Snake. He's Solid Snake. Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just funny. Like, he's literally calling someone's like, you're driving some fascist things here. And it's fucking Solid Snake of all people saying that. Like, he is Solid Snake at that point, It's just...
Hell yeah. Oh, damn. What a week, dude. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's gonna be a wrap for this episode. Sorry this was a very emotionally fueled episode, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Gotta talk about the news. That's what we got. So yeah. Let's see. We mentioned before we're going to be doing the She-Hulk review coming up soon. We will be doing, I guess, it seems like a roundtable for some like a game creator roundtable. Seems like we're going to be doing HVZ for that, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, besides that, yeah, look out for, we might be streaming on YouTube next episode. So of course, follow us on our socials to be in the loop. And of course, Joel, what places could they look up United We Nerd?
Cool. Well, if you have questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, reasons why you should watch Solo or Love and Thunder, why Doan is a hot Zaku daddy, or why you should play pirates and video games, hit us with an email. Where? unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. Again, unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. Don't already follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/united_we_nerd. Slide into our DMs there if you want to ask us something or want to comment on whatever we said. We're also on YouTube, as you know, hopefully live on YouTube for the first time, which I've never used it. I have no idea how that's going to go. So we have thought about it a few times, but we use this shitty fucking platform that we still use. So yeah. Also, as you know, on that platform under United We Nerd, find us doing shit here, complaining, talk about news, usually good stuff, but we gotta address the bad too. Trying to be fair. And also the Zuckerverse, Fuckerverse, United We Nerd, and finally Instagram United_We Nerd. And just there.
Hell yeah.
With your takes, bad or good.
Oh yeah. And also just a little note there for the people that are watching us on YouTube. Thank you, by the way, for watching on YouTube. And of course, people listening on podcast services, thank you very much. We'd like to ask everybody watching video or listening audio wise, please leave reviews, comments wherever you can. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I guarantee that if you like this episode, that you'll have a fun time with us. It really
you like this episode. Whoa. Holy shit.
Hey man, we get wild sometimes. You know.
Fucking Christ.
But yeah, seriously though, like this will help us spread the word about United We Nerd. We want to get this out to as many people as possible, and you can help us do that just by liking, rating on like Apple Podcasts, and I think Spotify just got something like that too. I'm not sure. I don't know. But if there's a comment section, leave a comment, ask us questions. We would love to communicate with you guys, because of course, the more info you give to us, the better we can make this podcast for you and for us as well. Because we always want this podcast to grow and be better than it was before. And you guys can help us do that.
Try not to be so antagonistic, but y'all have some bad takes.
It happens. It happens.
Oh, not really. It's just me being angry. That's a good guy. Brian's a good guy here.
We try. A little bit at a time. But yes, until the next time we can come together, Joel, where can people find you?
Can you find me, Admech Monster Mind, on Spotify and SoundCloud? Hopefully new music soon. For real this time. I always get distracted, but been working on stuff in the background because that's what I do. Also, Acoustic Avenger on Twitch. I'm only saying it now because in 7 days coming up, usually I stream Andromeda. I want to actually do a charity stream on that day, use the platform for good. So it's 7 day, November 7th, 2022, stream. So I'm serious. Check out, what do I have here? Oh, rescue.org is doing Pakistan people need food. Right there, please. I'll probably donate money there or to Jackson Water Crisis. There. Also, my Mad Mac Monster on TikTok. There. And Twitter. But just go look under United We Nerds Twitter. You'll find me there. That's it. Twitter. I have a love-hate relationship with Twitter. All right, Brian, what about you? Where can we find you?
Well, of course, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brian_Saber. As well now on TikTok. I do have a TikTok. Brian Saber there. You can follow that there. as well as YouTube. I recently just put up some stuff on YouTube doing some shorts. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention this before, but shout out to Kind of Funny. They just this past Friday they launched their new studio, the Spare Bedroom. Got to shout it out. You know, we're in the Bay Area. They're a big content creation group in San Francisco. We got to give a shout out. Honestly, if it wasn't for them, this podcast might not have been around. So, got to give a shout out. They've been doing some really great work. It's a small team, but they are able to do some really big things. So, shout out to Kind of Funny for doing some great shit. But yeah, that being aside, I'm also on, Twitch as well, Brian Saber. You can, I might be streaming tomorrow. If you're listening to this live, I might be streaming on Wednesday, maybe. Don't know what I will do, but I'll figure it out. You'll see. If you come hang out, you'll see. Huh. All right. Well, if there's one thing we've learned today, Joel, just gotta be cool. Just
Trying, man.
try to be cool.
I'm not doing good. I'm not cool, man. I'm not cool right now.
Yeah, we try. We all try. But
Better than me.
Yeah. But yeah. Everybody watching or listening, thank you very much for hanging out. We appreciate y'all. And of course, until next time, keep on nerding, baby.
It's love, Ted is life.